everyone. So I just wanted to give a quick intro on this Guild Wars video. Just really kind of to apologize for how kind of shoddily some of these clips are recorded. This was my first time trying to record videos of my Guild War fights, and I wanted to post them because it's definitely something I wanted to start doing. Hopefully for both your enjoyment and my own, so other people can see the fights, and if they like the teams or think the teams I use, or maybe even the teams my opponent uses, are interesting or cool or fun or whatever, they can copy those and use them and see how they work. But in this video, some of the clips just look like they're fine, but I wasn't the best at recording them. In that, like, I know one or two of the fights, it starts with Tenebria using her skill 3, and it doesn't show that Shuri got the turn 1 for my team, which, I mean, not like you really missed much or whatever, but I just wanted to apologize for that and let you know that I'll be better at recording them in the future. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. All right, so finally getting into the fights here. And by the way, I do show the gear for all the heroes that I use in any of my fights at the end of the video. So if you're interested, just stay around and check that out. But yeah, this fight's almost over, basically. It was basically just kind of me thinking that I could get first turn, which we did with Shuri. Vildred has S imprints, so he boosted Shuri's speed, got us first turn, and it was kind of a short and sweet one there. And then, okay, yeah, already on to the next fight here. As you can see, we got outsped. So this one's kind of interesting because even though that happens, we do still manage to win. And I think that really comes down to kind of, obviously the teams are almost identical. The only difference is Sid versus ML Tenebria. And we win by abusing her mechanic where she can't be targeted, and the Sid is just not strong enough to really be a threat to us on defense here. If he would have crit there, maybe Dizzy would have died, but even if I see, I don't even think Dizzy would have died, but if she did, I think we so easily would have won the fight. Just because I don't think Sid is taking down Angelica by himself, and Tenebria obviously kills him pretty quickly right after, as you can see. Just maybe he has like really the only way he would have killed Dizzy is if he has like really high crit damage and like low attack or something. So like if he doesn't crit, he sucks. But as you can see, he hasn't crit multiple times. So I don't really know what was going on here with the Sid, but it wasn't very strong. It wasn't really a threat at all. And once Sid is down, obviously the fight is pretty much over. It's just kind of a waiting game, just to see how fast ML Tenebria can burst things down, or maybe get lucky to hit on some of Dizzy's debuffs. But I think this fight is like a really good example of two things. One, to show how good ML Tenebria and Dizzy are together, specifically like working on a team. Just how they synergistically work together. It's like they're a pretty good combo to use if you have it. And really, I mean, like, so if you've played in the past 3 months or whatever, like, you obviously have Dizzy, and if you have her, you obviously know she's really good. But not everyone has ML Tenebria, and I feel like there's a lot of negativity surrounding her too. Like, just like if you look in her comments, especially, people are like, "Oh, needs another buff" or whatever. And I mean, hopefully it's a joke because like she is really good now. But I mean, I'll take another buff, I guess. Like if everyone really thinks that, but hopefully this video and specifically this fight, but there's actually another great one down in the video that kind of showcases her raw potential in Guild War. And just to talk a little bit about her mechanic, because like this fight is really long, and I feel like I've said all I really can like about the fight specifically. Like you know what's going to happen, um, but like so she gets stronger as more people die, right? But it's not only that's her passive, her skill two. In case for anyone who didn't know, just to be sure. But she also has a soul burn on her skill one, which gives her an extra turn. And those two things combined make her really good for targeting tank teams and dealing with tank teams like Assassin Cartuja and Violet and Crow, Fire Ken. I mean, Assassin Cartua and Violet are two units I really don't like. So I love because before I had ML Tenebria, I wasn't very good at winning against them. But now that I have this team, I just whenever I see Violet or ML Cartuja teams, like I'm like I want to fight this and I want to win because I guess I'm still just a little bit salty about some RNG losses I had to Ascart evade. Um, yeah, I just don't like him. I think he's like a dumb unit, but maybe that'll change if I actually pull him or something. But so yeah, whenever I see like a Violet or Assassin Cartua team, like I'm always like I'm fighting that, and they're really easy wins with ML Tenebria and Dizzy. Sometimes I throw in Rose too, and it basically still goes down the same. But because when you're fighting a tank or stall team, essentially there's not really like a huge threat that you're gonna die. But you might not like if you take in DPS, like really squishy DPS, like they might be able to actually kill you, or you just won't be able to burst like Angelica or Ruel or Ascard or whoever it is fast enough. Like they'll probably kill you just because you can't kill them fast enough, even though they're not normally like an offensive threat, is what I meant to say to correct myself. But because ML Tenebria can't be targeted, and she has Soulburn skill 1, which grants her an extra turn, and she gets stronger as her allies or enemies die, you can really abuse that when fighting tank teams and kind of just rack up souls, and then when you have enough, just like spam a bunch of turns in a row, and that's a really nice way to deal with any kind of stall or tank defenses, like of which there is a lot. Like I don't need to tell you guys that, I'm sure you know. So hopefully this video itself and like this fight too, for just helps anyone who like wasn't sure about ML Tenebria and was like, you know, I I have her, I don't know what to do with her, I don't think she's that good. Because she is good, and she's pretty useful, but I know like originally she wasn't, and that kind of might be why a lot of you are hesitant to build her. Okay, yeah, like here's the next fight against Razzie 147. Um, the first fight, the same as every first fight almost in the video so far. We just get first turn, Vildred speed imprint, and then Shuri has speed imprint too for the back, and it's Vildred Tenebria cleave. It's really good, and that fight was over. Thankfully, we won that last fight because this one we don't win, but I definitely want to show it anyway. Uh, I definitely want to show it like all the fights, like even if I lose or like lose really badly. Um, this one, I don't know. I know I know well Carmen, right? Like Carmen is a really polarizing character in the game right now because a lot of people think she needs a nerf. Um, and honestly, like I think she does, but not like nerfing her into the dirt, right? But I just think her passive is like a little too strong. But to be fair, like I'm not really like an expert on Carmen. Like I have mine, I use her, but unfortunately for me, like I don't have a lot of the meta like tank units to use with her. Like I don't have Kayron either. Um, so I can't really I don't feel like I'm super qualified to talk on it, but if you go on like Reddit or Discord or whatever, there's a bunch of really funny like pictures that basically should be memes where it's like they show every single fight climbing from like champion to legend, and every single fight has Carmen. And that's kind of like why I think she should be nerfed, because that's just so boring. Like that's such a stale and stagnant meta if every other fight or 3 out of 4 fights, like 75% or whatever, all have Carmen. Like that, I would get so tired of that. And if she's really like that good, where like 75% of all the top defenses are using her, like I think she might need addressed, but I don't really know why. Or really know how. I mean, not why. That's obviously why. Well, I talked through the first fight again. Obviously, it was the same, like, cleave. It's fun to do cleaves, you know, when you get first turn, you're like, yes, you know, it's gonna be a win. But this fight is a lot more interesting, and you're about to see why. Because if my ML Tenebria was a little stronger right here, this ML Ken would have died turn 1 with no defense break, right? He had 3 debuffs, no defense break, and my ML Tenebria passive has not procced yet. So she's still only 2,500 attack for that hit on ML Ken. And obviously, like, that's pretty low. She has like 240 crit damage, but yeah, I need to get better gear on mine to see her full potential. But as you can see, it's still like an easy win. You know, she kills him next turn, basically. Like, it's over. But, yeah. And the rest, like, this is another fight that's, like, really long, too. Like, a lot of ML Tenebria fights are. But she does, like, she has her passive now, right? So one unit has died and her attack has been increased by 10%. But before anyone has died, her attack is not increased at all. And 2,500 is, like, still pretty low. She doesn't have very good base stats. And mine is plus 15, by the way. So I wouldn't bother, like yours isn't going to be this good if you don't want to, like, put molas into her. But I think she can be very good, and still a lot better than mine with better gear, which I show at the end of the video, by the way, in case any of you just skipped to this fight or didn't watch, like, the intro part. But I think mine has potential to be a lot better with the gear, and to have a unit that can, like, for sure, one-shot ML Ken turn 1 is just so nice. Like, I'm sure maybe Shermia or, like, Watcher Shuri can do it too. But ML Tenebria also, like, can't be targeted, gets stronger as the battle goes on, and has the turn spam soul burn ability on her skill 1, which is, like, really nice. I don't know. I really like her. I think she's a great unit. I think she's definitely worth building for Guild War. I don't use her in PvP Arena very much. Just because I mostly stick to cleave for that. If she had Tagahel's, maybe I could. Like, if I had another second copy of, like, Max Tagahel's book, then maybe. But right now I only have 1 on Tenebria. Fire. And, yeah, those are my 3 fights for this war. I hope they were, like, fairly interesting, at least. Was enjoyable or whatever. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just, like, not being very smart is the answer. Like, I'm just looking at random towers when I have no more flags. So, yeah, but I went into, like, my hero box just for a quick time, like, right here at the end, just to show everyone, like, quickly how they're built. I have another video on it that talks in depth about how I build most of my commonly used heroes, why I think they're good or not good, or why I built them that way, and stuff, and where I use them. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check out the other video. The link will be in the comments or description. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know anything else any other comments or suggestions you have for me. I'd love to hear them.
All right, see you in the next video, guys.